What's up, TKO Nation? Welcome back to the TKO Podcast. Make sure you tune in.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to Technical Knockout, the MMA Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Hussein, and today we have a very special guest returning to the show for the third time, Gabe Rednose. Say what's up, Gabe.
Good seeing you guys. Thanks for having me on again, brother. I really appreciate it.
Gabe is a longtime fan and friend of the show, and he is a professional MMA fighter now. He's going back up to heavyweight. He had an extensive amateur career. I'm sure you guys, who's ever watching this video, saw our other two interviews, but just to give a little bit of background on Gabe, he's a great guy. He's a solid dude, and I'm really happy to have him on the show and happy to have him as a friend of the show. So thanks for coming back, bro. Good to see you.
Hey, brother. Thank you for having me on. Like you said, you hit the nail on the head. I really enjoy all your social media and, doing this for the fighters and giving us this platform. So I really appreciate you.
Of course, brother. It's always good to talk to a like-minded individual, somebody who's, smart in this game and, a professional. So I'm happy to have you on, man. So yeah, last time we talked, you were coming off of your pro debut, and now you are going into your first professional main event spot, and you're going back up to heavyweight. I know you had a couple main events already in your amateur career, but what's different in the build-up to this fight, if anything?
Training-wise, nothing's really different. I always train as hard as I can and give it all I got throughout my camps, but this one holds a little bit more weight because I'm fighting right here in my backyard, in my home, at the casino that I've worked at for the last 7 years. We're fighting right in front of my tribe. It's going to be sold out, bro. I mean, there's going to be so many people here. It's probably going to be the most electrifying night of my career so far.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that you were fighting at the place that you work at, dude. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I already have around $20,000 worth and sold in tables, VIP tables. So I know that a lot of people are going to make it out tonight. So I'm going to get my hand raised for them.
I'm sure you will, bro. I mean, fighting with your tribe behind you and your friends and your coworkers and everybody behind you, it's got to be motivating as hell. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, And if you're bringing in 20,000 on the tables, I'm sure it's ain't gonna be the last time you're fighting there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
That's awesome, man. I know experience is the best teacher, and I'm sure you feel comfortable in the scenario because you've had such a extensive amateur career. You fought heavyweight before. Like I said, you fought main events before. Would you recommend to fighters who are starting out to take their time on the amateur circuit like you did, or is it kind of a case-by-case scenario?
Yeah, for sure. It kind of just depends on your skill set that you have walking into MMA. If you're already an established, kickboxer and you've already established yourself in that martial art, you might not need as much time. I was an established wrestler when I started, but I just wanted to try to find the toughest fights around. So in my opinion, I feel like it's a really good, there's pros and cons to it because you aren't getting paid, but you're taking those tough fights, There's pros and cons to it. Obviously, everyone wants to get paid, but I feel like the more tougher fights you can take on the amateur scene, the better off you're going to be going into the pros, just because you get so much experience and you come through so much adversity by fighting those tougher fights on the amateur scene.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. It really shows in your fights when I watch you perform. I can see that you're comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, this is your hood, I have a couple other friends who are fighters, and one of them right now is on the amateur heavyweight scene over here in New York and New Jersey. My boy Jacob Estevez, he's a great guy, probably listening to this right now. But yeah, like he's going down that route as well. He wants to take as much experience as he can get on the amateur circuit, and I think that's the way to go. Prepare yourself.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I would also recommend trying to get in contact with like IMAF, International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, and then you could start possibly fighting internationally, and then you could really get some good looks internationally, because that's what I did towards the MMA amateur career. Well, not towards the end. 2022, I was on Team USA, and I went to Monterrey, Mexico, and fought against 14 other nations, which was pretty awesome. You get a lot of good looks over there. I think I had like 4 fights to the finals or something like that. It's all in like 1 day, 1 or 2 days. So lots of experience, lots of reps. I'd for sure tell him to look at that route and see if he can't get some international competing in, because that's even better.
So you did that all in one night? 4 fights, you said?
Yeah. Well, they did first round, quarterfinals, semifinals one night, and I think the finals the next morning. So I think it was 3 fights in one day and then finals the next day.
I feel like I didn't see that on your record. Was that not recorded maybe? Maybe it was just like off of Tapology?
Yeah. No, a few of them are on there. I think I had let's see, 2022, I think it was 3 or 4 fights to the finals. I can't remember. It should be IMAF under my Tapology.
That's sick, bro. That's dope. That sounds like a great experience. It's like some old school MMA shit.
Yeah, it
Like,
was
you know
cool,
what I
bro.
mean?
I
Like,
mean, you're basically just fighting other nations' up and coming top prospects. I mean, can't get
yeah, I mean yeah, that's a great experience, and I mean like it's rare to be able to represent your country too in the sport. You know what I mean? It's for the most part an individual sport. If anything, maybe it's like a team versus team thing.
yeah.
Or if you go, fight at a different country, then it's kind of like you're representing them there. But for it to actually be like a tournament style, that's really sick, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's cool. I would for sure recommend, building as much experience as you can, and then maybe jumping into IMAP before you go pro, just to give you a good test of where you stand.
Word. Well, I've always thought you had a great skill set to dominate the heavyweight scene in MMA. Obviously, it's worked so far for you when you were on the amateur circuit, but this is your first pro heavyweight fight, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you're gonna stay here for a little bit,
No.
or do you want to keep moving up and down, seeing how you fit?
I mean, don't get me wrong. If an opportunity arose at heavyweight, I would for sure jump on it, but I don't see myself staying here at all. 205 for the next couple for sure, and then possibly 185 in the future. Because
Yeah, when we've talked,
I'm only 235 right now. I mean, it's not like I'm crazy heavy. I could easily diet down to, 215 and then make the drop down from there. I mean, 210, something like that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, last time we talked about it, you were telling me that like going down at the lower weight classes, it gives you a little bit more like focus, being able to kind of like lock in on the diet and everything, and it all kind of plays in together. But do you find that like when we got onto the interview initially, you were like, "Man, I'm pretty excited because I don't have to cut weight this time." Does it feel good to have that like that kind of like mental load off? Not that you
For a
cut a ton
fact.
of weight, but like,
For a fact. Yeah, dude, my last fight, I cut 27 pounds in like a day and a half for my last 205 fight. So,
damn, never mind.
yeah, I didn't water load properly, and it was a disaster. But
Wouldn't be able to tell looking at the performance, so that's
well,
good.
thanks. It for sure feels good not having to cut no weight, but I don't want to get too used to it because, I'm for sure going to be cutting weight next. So it's nice in this moment, but I'm not going to get used to it.
Yeah, fair enough. So I don't want to put too much pressure on you for this fight. I know, and I trust you to do well under any pressure that you're under. But oftentimes we see fighters get like Dana White Contender Series calls up with like 5, 6 pro MMA fights. Now that you got your first professional main event coming up, if you win this fight, maybe 2 more, you might be getting that call to the Dana White Contender Series, and then subsequently a chance to fight in the UFC. Is it motivating to see that path ahead of you, or is it kind of something that you don't want to focus too much on and just look at what is the next step right now?
That's for sure my end goal, so it's good to see that I'm on the right path. But like you said, I'm just trying to handle it and focus on one fight at a time and keep my head down and continue to work, and just, if it's meant to be, it will be. And, the time will come.
For sure, dude. I have all the faith in the world in you, man. Like the way that you carry yourself, the way that you fight, the way that you like take care of every part of the process. I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to be seeing you in the UFC one day. So I'm happy to have you on here, and I'm happy to watch this journey.
Well, that means a lot to me, bro. It really does. And, if it's meant to be, like I said, if it's meant to be, it will. And, it's all like
For sure.
God willing. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. So besides your fight coming up, what other upcoming fights are you looking forward to in the MMA sphere right now?
Let's see. What all do we have left? Pereira Ankalaev. I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know if Pereira can get it done though. I mean, Ankalaev
Yeah, I'm worried about
beat
him.
him pretty soundly without even taking him down. So I don't know if he's going to try to come out and beat him in his own game again, or if he's going to try to make a statement and take him down and get him out of there pretty early. I don't know.
What do you have in Aspinall versus Gane?
I got Aspinall second round finish.
Okay, all right, I like it. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna get it done too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I mean,
probably within the first couple minutes.
yeah, I mean, round 1, round 2 for sure. I don't see it going past.
Yeah, the guy's he's a monster, man. I mean, if you want to talk about like exemplary figure in martial arts, somebody that you should study, Aspinall is definitely one of the guys up there. The technique is like beautiful.
Very good for a big guy. But I also still want to see him fight someone like Yalton Almeida.
Yeah, that would be.
Dude, that guy's
fight.
the dark
Yeah.
horse of the heavyweight division. People overlook him so much, and he is actually extremely good.
Yeah, man. I agree. I mean, I hope that we can see him develop his striking a little bit more. But that grappling game is just so dominant, you know? I feel like somebody like Aspinall would be the kryptonite, though, to be honest with you.
I don't know. We haven't seen Aspinall really on his back yet.
That's the truth, yeah. And that's the thing with these super dominant fighters is it's like, you know, I remember like people talking about Hamzat on the way up.
Yep.
Like, oh, Hamzat would beat that guy easily. Like, oh, Khabib would beat that guy easily. But I still want to see it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's what we're here for.
Heck yeah.
You can see them get tested. Because if you told me before the Poirier fight, you know, Islam was gonna fight Poirier, I'd be like, oh, Islam's gonna smoke him. You know what I mean? Why are we even gotta watch that? And then it turns out to be this back and forth war where you learn more about both of the guys. So you know what I mean? You just gotta see how it shakes out.
For a fact, I agree.
So, I mean, I know you're a huge fan of MMA and you watch, like, almost every week, but are there any other sports you're into besides MMA or baseball, football, anything like that?
Whenever I play fantasy, I mean, I grew up playing all of the above. I mean, when I play fantasy football, that's when I really pay attention to the football games. But if I don't do a fantasy football league that year, then I'll just watch it, you know, whenever I have time. It's not like I'm rushing home to get the football game on or something, you know. It's pretty laid back. But typically every Saturday there's MMA fights on in my house.
Awesome. I was gonna ask you about fantasy, but I didn't want to be too forward. Are you gonna play this year?
Haven't got invited yet, so I don't know.
Shit, man. Maybe we'll have to make our own league.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep. Can you hear me? All right, cool. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. So yeah, we were talking about fantasy football. Yeah, dude, it's super fun. You've done it for a few years now, or?
Yeah, I last year I went into the regular season. I went undefeated and then got spanked the first round.
Really?
I went undefeated, then got spanked in the playoffs.
That's how it happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like a pretty middling record. Like I was just fighting for the playoff spot, and then I lost in the last week right before the playoffs. Like, who was on your team that you went undefeated, dude?
I can't even. I mean, Jalen Hurts was my quarterback, I think, and I'm trying to think. I don't know. It was a year or two ago. I haven't played in a while.
Fair. Yeah. I had Jamar Chase. He was doing
nice.
wonders last year. So you know, this year I got the first pick now. So I'm going back with my boy. You know what I mean? I got to ride with my dog.
That's right.
But I don't want to get too off topic talking about fantasy. But yeah, dude, I would definitely be down to join a league with you. I don't want to distract you from your number one. You know, it's a fun way to interact. You know,
for sure.
Sorry, dude. I know it's super early over there.
Oh no, not too bad, bro. I'm just ran down. I'm tired. I've been doing a lot.
I hear you, brother.
I've been yawning a lot. I apologize.
No, it's all good, bro. Seriously, it's totally fine. So I mean, I want to shift a little bit, talk about something besides, you know, the sport that we love and stuff. Are you a big movie TV guy? Like, do you watch a lot of those in the house, or did you watch a lot growing up?
I mean, now it's more so kid shows and kid movies that we're playing a lot in my house just for my kids, but I probably haven't seen a movie for myself in probably 5 years. It's all been all kids movies coming out, but that's okay, you know.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, that's all right. But yeah, I love watching movies, going to eat some popcorn, sitting back, hanging out with the family. We do that every now and then.
Nice. Well, what are some of your like favorite like comfort films, or like something that you can, or a TV show for that matter, something you can watch whenever, if you I guess if you had the time to.
It's actually funny. My favorite movie of all time is Holes.
That's a good one with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, bro, I can quote that whole movie almost. That's I've watched it a lot. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's a classic. Is that something? Is that one, or are there other ones that you're excited to show Parker and Riot when they're old enough to watch them?
Not really off the top of my head. Besides like scary movies, I'm ready to watch some scary movies with them when they get older. But nothing that they could watch now because they'd be traumatized for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're a big horror movie guy? What kind of horror movies?
Not
do you
big
like?
horror movie, but just something like the cheesy old ones, like Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. Just
those are my favorite.
Yeah, bro, they're good ones.
Yeah, I like the old slashers, like
Oh yeah,
where you know who the bad guy is the whole time. I love that kind of shit. Like
yeah, I'm excited to watch those type with my kid. That's fun. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if well, you said you haven't been to see a movie that for you in a long time, but if you get the chance, dude, you should check out that movie Weapons. I just saw it in theaters a couple days ago.
Pretty good.
It's so good. Yeah, if you like old school horror like that, it's very much up that alley.
Cool.
Like, super funny and like over the top. But yeah, man. That's all I've got. I mean, I'm down to chat about some upcoming fights if you are. I'm excited to see you in this main event, bro. Like, really, I'm pumped. I'm really proud of you, bro. Like, I know I've told you this before, but seeing you on your journey and like the way that you carry yourself, it's inspiring, bro. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, man.
Of course, bro. I'll always make time for it. Like I said, you're my guy, bro. You're one of my main podcasts that I jump on, and I gotta thank you again for giving us this platform because not everyone does it for the right reasons, and I feel like you and I are very like-minded individuals. So it's always a pleasure coming on here.
Agreed 100%, man. It feels good talking to somebody who's also like cerebral and sees this game for more than what a lot of other people do.
Absolutely.
So I'm always happy to talk to you, bro. I saw you posted something about you got a T-shirt coming out for this upcoming fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm definitely trying to get one of those, bro. I'm gonna send you that Cash App over on Wednesday when I get paid.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Send me your address, bro. I'll get one to you ASAP.
Hell yeah, man, for sure. All right, you got any plugs or anything you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just shout out to all my family, friends, and supporters. You guys are the reason why I'm pushing 1% better each and every single day. Thank you to God for all this to happen. Without him, none of this would be even possible. So, and then thank you to you as well. Once again, means a lot to me, and I'm looking forward to the next time, bro.
Same, bro. I'm looking forward to catching up with you after your main event.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
For sure, bro. Let me cue up this outro music and we'll get out of here, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Of course, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. All right. Let me get this. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Gabe, for joining the show again. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Tune in September 27th to watch Gabe and his professional MMA heavyweight main event debut. I'm excited to see it. You should be excited too. He's a great guy, and we're happy to support you, bro.
Thank you
for watching, y'all. Have a great day. Peace out.